organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, Iowa Caucus, the questions you want to know are answered.
And we take a look at vocal fry, the problems people are facing with their vocal cords.
It was a winning weekend for women's hoops and wrestling. We take a look at the W's coming up in sports.
All that and more coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Keaton Fuller.
And I'm Nikki Crossway.
The Iowa Caucus is a huge part of the upcoming 2016 election. Daily Iowan TV's Brad Martin went out to see how much UI students know about the process.
I'm Brad Martin, roaming the streets of Iowa City to find out how involved students at the University of Iowa are with the upcoming Iowa Caucus. Have you heard of the Iowa Caucuses?
No.
I don't know.
I'm here with Harry Skoletsky. Harry, what's happening on February 1st?
I think the Iowa Caucus.
Do you know what's happening on February 1st?
No.
Let's say our viewers wanted to caucus on February 1st. Where is the nearest precinct?
I have no idea.
And tell me a little bit about the Iowa Caucus.
I don't really know anything about the Iowa Caucus.
Who the front-runner Democratic and Republican candidate is?
All I know is that the Iowa Caucus is important because it's the first state of all the United States.
Bernie is Democratic. Who's Donald Trump?
I know that you get delegates and you vote for a delegate.
Signing off, Bradley Martin, Daily Iowan TV.
Caucusing might be new for many, but here at Daily Iowan TV, we have all the information you need for Monday. When looking at where to caucus, it all depends on one thing, your address. Each neighborhood is split into specific precincts for each area. In Iowa City alone, there are 24 precincts with 48 areas split between Republicans and Democrats. Campus locations, if you still haven't registered to caucus, there's no need to worry because you can register on site. How to register? You will need your driver's license or state ID and your social security number. Also bring a piece of mail to confirm your address. Once you're registered with your party, you are ready to caucus.
Now that you've found where you'll need to be caucusing, and are registered, you may be asking yourself what happens at a caucus. If you have registered as a Democrat, you will need to be at your precinct location by 7 p.m. Once you've signed in, caucus participants will break off into preference groups. These groups are based off of which candidate you support. If your group does not have 15% of the people at the caucus, your candidate will no longer be viable, and you will have to choose another candidate. At the end of the caucus, precinct captains will calculate how many delegates per candidate.
While Republicans should also show up to their precincts at 7 p.m., their process is slightly different. Once Republicans have signed in, they will write down their preferred candidate on any sheet of paper and turn it in. Once all the papers are in and counted, the officials will announce the result. Precinct results will be reported to top party officials, and the Republican Party of Iowa will add to the results across the state to decide a winner. Some people in Iowa City are feeling the burn after Bernie Sanders took the stage last night at the UI Fieldhouse. Sanders talks to a crowd of 35,000 people on issues from racial equality to the importance of caucusing. But the senator wasn't the only attraction. The band's Vampire Weekend and Foster the People had brief performances. The actor Josh Hutcherson also made an appearance to draw in some of the younger voters.
There's a storm a-brewing. Early into our Tuesday morning, our next big storm will arrive. The storm will travel throughout the Midwest with a possible Iowa City accumulation of 7 to 14 inches. More on the storm and your extended forecast from Brad Martin in the weather studio. Brad?
Thanks so much, Keaton. I would predict Tuesday will have pretty limited travel. Caucus Day Monday is shaping up to be a nice day weather-wise. Expect morning temperatures close to 29 degrees with a consistent warm-up, raising temperatures to 41 as we approach the early afternoon hours. Monday night, things take a chilly cool down to 33 degrees with the Tuesday storm around the corner. Taking a look at your 5-day extended forecast, we see a high of 36 and a low of 25 on Tuesday. Heavy wind and mixed snow make for tricky morning commutes. Multiple models show possible accumulation in excess of 13 inches. As we look into Wednesday, temperatures cool off with a partly cloudy high of 25 and low of 12. Thursday, temperatures return to 32 with a few scattered clouds. Then we look into the weekend. It's looking pretty nice with partly cloudy skies and highs in the mid-30s. However, Saturday afternoon, there is a slight possibility for snow. Stay warm this week, and as always, Daily Iowan TV asks you to exercise caution when commuting in snowy conditions. That's all I have for you in the weather studio. Back to you at the desk.
Scratchy voice. Then you've probably heard of vocal fry. It's a vocal phenomenon that Daily Iowan TV's Bobby Wonkamalasa investigated.
How to eat a Kit Kat, and it's pretty life-changing.
Those flaps are your vocal folds. And when your voice goes really low and makes a crackling sound, that's vocal fry, which was once described as a voice disorder symptom, and now a prevalent media topic.
It's just important. You know, you don't know who's after you. It's after you.
Especially when it comes to young and middle-aged women.
And I've realized that growing up, you see women like the Valley Girl or now the vocal fry, and you look down upon them.
But is vocal fry really something to be worried about? At Carla VT tweeted, "I just found out what vocal fry is, and I'm scared of it. What are your thoughts? #linguistics. I sat down with a professor here at the University of Iowa who actually studies linguistics.
It shouldn't influence our perception of the person's ability to do well in a job or to succeed in an educational context.
I know I do change my voice when I'm on air. I don't think I realized it until later when someone's like, oh, like I really like your radio voice. And I was like,
see, you probably wouldn't point a vocal fry out on yourself, but keep your ears open, and I bet you'll hear one. This is Bobby Wonkamalasa, Daily Iowan TV.
While polls can be helpful for learning about politics, they're often old news by the time they become published. This is why 3 University of Iowa professors spent 2 years creating recently opened leftrightpolitics.com. The website provides daily updates on the most popular tweets and stories regarding the 10 most popular presidential candidates. But one of its most impressive features is that it plots positive tweets regarding the candidates. This reflects popularity and can be helpful in staying up to date this political season.
Donald Trump is coming out on top. At least according to the latest early poll, Trump holds a slim margin over Ted Cruz. Yet despite Trump's official lead, a Des Moines Register and Bloomberg Political's poll reports that Cruz may be more respected and popular than Trump.
Rand Paul made one final push for younger voters Sunday night. He and his father, presidential nominee Ron Paul, visited the UI for one last effort to ramp up support before the caucus. His plan to attract the college voters and win, called his Iowa 10,000 campaign. He hopes to win with 10,000 votes from college students. Well, Nikki, Iowa men's basketball sure has been on fire lately.
And they kept it going this afternoon inside Carver Hawkeye Arena with a dominating win over Northwestern. Our Ashlyn Bauer is standing by in the sports studio.
Thanks, Nikki and Keaton. Iowa made a quick bounce back from their loss at Maryland last week with some revenge against Northwestern, Sunday 85-71. We will have more on that victory on Monday's show. Keeping with Carver Hawkeye Arena, the Iowa wrestling team was in front of a big crowd Friday night for another duel against Minnesota. Wrestling reporters Laura Bulanda and Zach Mackey were Matt's side and have more.
11,174 Iowa wrestling fans watched as the Hawkeyes took down yet another Big Ten opponent. With a quick start and a satisfying end, the Hawkeyes will move to 14-0 on the season. Thomas Gilman at 125 started the duel off with a pounding of the mat, a pin for Gilman to make the team score 6-0. At 133, number 3 in the nation, Corey Clark follows directly behind Gilman with another pin for the Hawks and another 6 for the team score.
You work hard throughout the week and you get a little bit of pressure built up, and the fans out there add on to it a little bit, and then the second the ref slaps the mat, you just feel it all release.
The first loss came from Brody Grothis at 141 in a 6-4 decision to Minnesota's number 7 Tommy Thorne. Ranked first, it's Brandon Sorensen that would put on a defensive-heavy match, but would go on to win it 6-2. Then it was Edwin Cooper, the 157-pounder, with a 4-2 decision. Following Cooper was Patrick Rhodes with a major decision over Dylan Urbach, 21-7. In the 174-pound weight class, number 12 Alex Meyer gets a major decision, a 10-1 victory. And we'll move on to 184 pounds, where this duel really starts to get interesting. Number 7, Sammy Brooks, a Carver crowd favorite, put on an offensive show, and he'd later tech fall his opponent in an 18-2 victory.
You'll become a crowd favorite doing that very quick. Very quick.
The second and final loss of the duel would come from undefeated Nathan Birak to Brett Farr 6-5 after a controversial last-second call. And finally, at 285 pounds, number 7 and Minnesota native Sam Stoll gets the decision over Michael Kroll 7-3. The final team score 34-6. I'm going to hand it over to Zach Mackey now with more on the returning All-Americans.
Coach Tom Brands knew he had experience on his roster from the beginning of the year with 4 returning All-Americans. But the coach didn't expect for 2 of those All-Americans to still be undefeated, as we have reached the halfway point in the Big Ten season. Brandon Sorensen leads this Hawkeye team with 19 wins at 149 pounds, and the sophomore stayed the course with another win.
Pretty bulletproof, but good job for sure. And coming back too from Nebraska, I mean, he let it all fly, so I really wasn't worried about it. He gets past things good.
Iowa's Nathan Birak and Minnesota's Brett Pafar was the marquee matchup that everyone looked to at the beginning of the match. Down by 2 now with 15 seconds left. Nathan Birak gets the escape, brings it within 1 point, and goes to get the takedown, but never gets the 2 points from the officials. But don't worry, they go to review after Coach Tom Brands challenges the ruling, and after a long look at it, the call is confirmed. And Nathan Birak is given his first loss of the year.
Birak's the one that gets me, and these rules that we have, you know, we have this video review, and we just got to get an independent ref. But the thing is, you can't get an independent ref because it's an Olympic sport. We got to keep costs down. So you either got to get rid of the rule because it takes you 5 minutes to get to the video review, or you got to make a true, honest assessment on what happened out there, and you have to divorce yourself from all emotion from the previous call. It's that simple.
A perfect 14-0 for head coach Tom Brands and his crew. Reporting inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, I'm Zach Mackey for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Iowa wrestlers will stay in Carver for their next Big Ten duel against Indiana on Friday. Carver kept busy over the weekend. The Iowa women's basketball team ended a 3-game losing streak on Thursday night against the Michigan Wolverines. Basketball reporter Katie Reber tells us more about how a mindset made all the difference for these ladies.
After a rough start, the Hawkeyes pushed the reset button on their season, beginning with their matchup against Michigan.
For us was a new season that we were starting over. We're going to forget about everything that happened up to that point, and we're going to start over.
This starting over mindset is what clicked for the Hawkeyes as they outscored the Michigan reserves 33-6, definitely showing their comfort on their home Carver court.
I'm getting to know the plays a lot better, getting to know the system a lot better, becoming much more of an offensive threat and a defensive threat, becoming much more of a leader, a vocal leader at that. So I'm definitely more comfortable.
With 21 assists, 12 turnovers, and 4 players in double figures, these ladies put on a clinic in Carver, showing everyone who this team really is.
And it's really fun to come back and show everyone that's not the team we are. We showed them who we are tonight, and we showed Michigan that, yeah, that's who we are.
Despite being a rather physical game, the Hawkeyes played in their strength zones and worked as a solid team.
We had better defense, just energy overall. And I think that our guards and everybody did a really good job shooting.
In their 85-69 victory on Thursday night, the Hawkeyes won every quarter of the game, outplaying Michigan in both offense and defense. This Iowa team is hoping this is a shift in momentum to a better season. This is Katie Reber inside Carver Hawkeye Arena, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
They kept their winning streak alive after beating Northwestern on their home court Sunday afternoon, 79-64. That'll do it for me in the sports studio. Keaton and Nikki, back to you.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news between now and Sunday. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Nikki Crossway.
And I'm Keaton Fuller. Happy caucusing, everybody.